Hey guys, Shadney back with another process video for the Scrapbooking for Beginner series. And this is supposed to be yesterday's video, but I, couldn't get my crap together because yesterday was my last day of work. And so today I'm officially a stay-at-home mom and working on this YouTube stuff kind of full time. So, with that said, there is a free sketch and printables that should have been yesterday's that are available now, and there will be a link down, or two links down below, to download those and print them. If you do, just remember to print them as 4x6 so that they print at the correct size. So for this one, I've already gone ahead and kind of picked out my title and stuck it down on wax paper, and then also wrote out my journaling on strips. Sorry, I am in the house, but you can very clearly hear a bird from outside. It is early in the morning, and I'm trying to hurry and do this before India wakes up. And it's just going to keep making that noise, so I'm sorry. I've gone through and picked out 4 6x8 sheets from that paper pad. And then I'm just cutting, not being very precise about them at all, and cutting some kind of long, skinny triangles. And these will be to make that starburst background. There are several ways to make starburst backgrounds. There are cut files that can help you with this. There, you can do every single strip all the way around so that you don't see your background paper at all. You can do all your rays the exact same size, or you can mix them with various sizes. In this one, that's kind of what I was doing, was various sizes, but they all kind of ended up looking the same. But because we are trying to make the most of our paper, and I like the pink of this swan background paper, we went ahead and we only did like every other so that you could still see the background paper as well. And then you also don't have to worry about trying to make sure all your pieces match up or anything like that. So, I don't know what I'm playing on the iPad, or like playing a video on the iPad. Right now what I'm doing, I'm just trying to find the center point to start the starburst. And then I'm just going to go around. And since I only have 4 papers, I'm just going to go in order all the way around. So like I'll do the light pink stripe, the ledger, the polka dot, the navy, the light pink stripe, the ledger, so it'll go in order. So I did go ahead and ink the edges of this ray, and then I adhered it down. And I don't know why I didn't just adhere them all down with glue, but I made it very difficult on myself and went around and did a tape runner, and then added glue just at the very tip where it's too skinny to run the tape runner. So right now I'm just kind of laying them out so that they are spread out pretty evenly. And then I'll go one ray at a time and ink the edges, add the adhesive, glue them down, and then all the way around until they're all done. And I did just try to make sure those center points kind of met up in the middle. Thankfully, with this layout, it wasn't as big of a deal because my photo is covering it. And for the most part, on a starburst layout like this, you will want the photo in the center, because it really draws your eye to the photo more than anything, or some other big element for your page. It might be your journaling, it might be your title. So, but you usually use it to kind of draw your eye to that item. And So my photo does cover the center, so it doesn't have to be perfect, but just for them to come out from the center looking the correct way, you want to kind of keep them centered. And my photo, I didn't mention it earlier, my photo is adhered on white cardstock, a very thin white border, and then a thin yellow border. So now I'm just going around and trimming off all the pieces that are overlapping. And if I was more careful about my adhesive, then I could save these pieces and use them for something later. But they're just covered in adhesive, so they are going to get trashed. And thankfully with that swan background, I always know which side is up because it's very predetermined on which side is going to be the up or down, because we don't want upside down swans. So right now I am adding a sheet of foam behind the photo so it'll pop up just a little bit, but I need to adhere down my journaling before anything else, just because it needs a certain amount of space. So I will start at the top and work down. I will keep them very close together and just adhering down with my Nuvo liquid adhesive, which is the best. And for this, I wasn't keeping them super centered. I was trying to keep them in kind of a column to keep that whole column look all the way down, the band look all the way down. But I was kind of staggering them a little bit. I don't want them all to line up. Like if they were all going to be like left adjusted, or is that what it's called? Left, whatever it's called, sorry. If they were all going to be against the left and they were all lined up, that would be fine with me, but I don't like some of them not and then some of them being lined up. So I did stagger them just so that none of the ends kind of met up. They were all kind of staggered, but still keeping it in that centered kind of thing. And I obviously was not super careful with this. If you are more OCD, I am about some things, but not all things. But if you like things very centered, you can definitely use a ruler and like draw some pencil lines and erase them after if you needed to keep everything very centered. For me, especially with them being kind of staggered, it did not bother me whatsoever. And then I'll add a bunch of embellishment, so it kind of hides any flaws at the end too with all the embellishing. So I went ahead and adhered my photo down, and then I'm going to go down here with the title and kind of mess with that for a second. And I liked the gold from the July 4th, the date, but it ends up not really fitting. So I do kind of play around with that. And thankfully, I don't know if I've done it yet, but I do, oh, here we go. I do realize I spelt stinking wrong, and I didn't get the N, and I thought I could fit in my head, I thought, yay, I can fit the G, and I don't have to do the little apostrophe, but that's not true. So I did go in and switch those. Thankfully, I caught it before I glued them down. You know how you stare at a word for so long and then it like doesn't even look like a word anymore? I think that's where that went. So these are not thickers technically, but just like thickers, they do not stick. So we're going in with the Nuvo adhesive and making sure each one is glued down. And then I will repeat the same thing for the cute as well. And I'm going to go ahead and fast forward because this is super boring. So hold on one second. Okay, so now those are all adhered down, and now I'm just going to mess with the date for a minute and try to figure out where to put it. And then I do end up just putting it up here at the top. And with these, sometimes they stick, sometimes they don't, but they absolutely do not stick to paper, but sometimes they'll stick to photos and sometimes they won't. So I did go ahead and adhere these down with Nuvo glue as well. And then just, I'll fast forward this part too because this is also boring. Okay, so now all the titles glued down, all these main center pieces are glued down, and then I've gone ahead and have all the printables pre-cut, and for the most part that's what I'm going to use to embellish this page, because I just want kind of a sprinkling of embellishments all down the either side of this column, the band. And I'm just kind of placing things around, trying to figure out where everything should go. This photo is of my niece. On the 4th of July, in the morning, we met them at my brother and sister-in-law and niece at a splash pad and had breakfast. They got donuts and we brought fruit, and we had breakfast, and then the girls played on the playground and played in the splash pad. It was a lot of fun. So this was right before we left, and she was just so cute with her swimsuit and her little sunglasses. So I had to make sure to get a photo. So, and then all of these, so because it was a splash pad, all of these little embellishment pieces from the printables, they're all kind of water, ocean kind of themed. There's sunglasses, swimsuits, a submarine, seashells, all sorts of little bits and pieces. And as I'm placing these, I try to keep them kind of spread out as far as color-wise so that there was a nice flow and it kept your eye kind of moving. All the colors were kind of varied. And, oh, I was going to mention in this printable, I am not used to scrapbooking like boys. I will scrapbook my husband sometimes, but usually India's in the photo, and I really just scrapbook how I like it. So, and I know a lot of people have been talking about recently boys, scrapbooking the boys. So I did try to make sure in this printable that I did include like the little boy's swimsuit and tried to do some more embellishments that weren't necessarily super girly. So hopefully that translates and they're very usable for both boy moms and girl moms. So all the moms. Or if you're not a mom, that too, whatever, for everybody. So now I'm just going, I have these two larger heart pieces that are kind of lighter colored. I did add a little bit of ink to the edges just because I felt like they weren't standing out very well, but then I didn't want to go in and do it to all the pieces, so I only did it, I only did it to those two. And then now I'm going to go in and start adhering all these down. Some of them I am gluing flat because I don't want them all to be raised. It won't be, I don't know, it gives it a little bit more interest when some things are raised and some things aren't. So I am mostly going to pop them up, but a few of them I am laying flat, especially against the photo, I think. And like the little word strips, I'm gluing flat as well. All the other pieces that I'm popping up, I'm using the Stampin' Dimensionals, the regular size. And they are just the perfect size for these little teeny tiny ones, the 1/2-inch ones. They fit perfectly behind them. And they work really well for the larger ones as well. The medium ones. The larger ones, I did use a couple just so that none of that piece sagged at all. And then, so I'm just going around. I mentioned I tried to vary the colors throughout so that they kind of flowed really well. And all the navy ones weren't at the top. All the yellow ones weren't at the bottom. But I also did try to kind of vary the sizes as well. I didn't want all the large ones to be together, all the tiny ones to be together. And I think that just kind of gave it more like a a sprinkly, bubbly kind of effect down the center. I'm going in with just a couple of these little yellow hearts, just to add some more yellow, and then I will pull in some more of the orange from that color scheme with these little pop dots from the Dollar Tree. And then I think that's pretty much it. Oh, I'm gonna go in and add a few buttons, and then I will also go back and do a little bit of Heidi Shine. I wanted to try to use bigger buttons, but I thought that the smaller ones were just better, and they kind of fit in those clusters a little bit better. And then I'll go in and do just a little bit of gold Heidi Shine just to add a little bit more of that splattery, like little bit to the clusters. And then that's about it. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please hit like. If you want to leave me a comment, maybe let me know what your favorite way to use the starburst effect is. Like if you like to do it like this where the background shows, or if you use a cut file, or if you like to do it in the center or like off to the side, anything like that, let me know. I would love to know that. And then if you want to see more videos, please hit subscribe and then hit that bell notification so you can be notified every time I post a video. And I should be back on a normal schedule as of now because I'm not at work anymore. And next Monday should come out on Monday instead of on Tuesday. So next Monday we'll have another sketch sheet and free printables. So come back for that. And then if you download these, the link will be down in the description. If you do download them, just remember to print them at 4x6. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day and happy scrapping. Bye.